This is a short video on how to calculate balance of trade and balance of payments. Balance of trade is the difference between visible exports and visible imports for a country for a year. Visible exports are physical goods produced in Ireland, sold to foreign countries. Examples: beef and dairy. Invisible visible imports are goods produced abroad. Physical goods produced abroad, purchased by Irish consumers. Examples: cars, PlayStations, televisions. These goods are produced abroad, brought into Ireland and purchased by Irish consumers. So the balance of trade, T for trade, T for things we can touch, physical goods, visible exports, less visible imports. Now in an ideal scenario, your exports would be greater than your imports. You'd be selling more abroad than you're buying in from abroad. This, however, is not the case in the example given above. The visible exports are 510 million. The visible imports are 700 million. So when I take that away and put a bracket around it to show I'm taking it away, I get a deficit of 190 million. The reason it's a deficit is because imports are greater than exports, which isn't the ideal scenario. Now, the balance of payments then can be calculated in two ways. I'm going to show both options. Option 1 is where we take our balance of trade, which is negative 190 million, or a deficit of 190 million, and we add or subtract our balance from invisible trade. Now our balance from invisible trade in this question is the difference between invisible exports and invisible imports. Now invisible exports in this question are 480 million, and invisible imports are 460 million. So 480 million minus 460 million sec 480 million minus 460 million. It's positive of 20 million. Invisible exports are greater than invisible imports to the tune of 20 million. So balance of trade plus balance of invisible trade, because it's positive. And however, I still end up with a deficit of 170 million. The reason it's a deficit, because obviously total exports are greater than total imports. Negative balance of trade, positive balance of invisible trade, however, it doesn't outweigh the negative balance of trade. The final option, or option 2, for the balance of payments is to get total exports, visible and invisible, and add them together. So that is 510 million plus 480 million. Add those together and you get 990 million. Less total imports. So visible imports, 700 million. Plus invisible imports, 460 million. And you get 1160 million. Now, take total exports, less total imports, take it away, and again you get the same answer obviously as above, just for a different way of doing it. A deficit of 170 million. The opposite of a deficit, of course, is a surplus, and that's where exports are greater than imports. But in this case, we have two deficits: a deficit in the balance of trade and a deficit in the balance of payments.